Shane.
And I'm Jen.
And we're SpielMill.
And this is our theme video. We missed March, but we had so many great suggestions that we wanted to just go ahead and do a video about some of those suggestions. So,
life kind of consumed us. The world right now is burning.
Terrible.
And we were, I don't know.
I just didn't have a lot of bandwidth. I also have a job that can be pretty intense, and
I have an illness,
and I'm a caretaker, and it was a lot for us, and so we didn't get videos made. But
there were so many good ideas. Jimmy had good ideas. One of our viewers commented, and then Joanna and Christian from Board Game Beans had some great ideas, and they had so many ideas that we loved the idea of taking their ideas and putting them into their own theme videos because it was...
Joanna's machine. She sent us like 20 suggestions. It was amazing.
It was awesome. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a theme video, but it's not month-based per se. It's more theme-based.
Yes.
And this month's theme is nature.
And there were...
well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so there were a bunch of holidays in March that tied to this. So there was a recycling day, spring equinox, celebrate the forest day, water, earth hour, zero waste, which is close to my heart, of course. It is Earth Day. Actually, it was Food Waste Awareness Week was just last week. Earth Day is coming up, so it seems like a appropriate time to do this anyway.
Yeah, I'm very close to my heart. Actually, one of the reasons we got busy is I started doing a little forest activism, but a little, because like my body doesn't work. But so anyway, so we thought we'd pick some games. It's also Earth Day is this month, so it's good timing for this particular theme, and we're going to do videos based on some of the other theme groupings that Joanna had, because it was just so great. So many great ideas. So we are doing 5 games based on nature, and we're going to start with a game about defending nature.
Yeah, I think most of these actually are not specifically nature or just like generic nature. It's about protecting nature and defending nature. And this one in particular.
This one's straight up.
Yep.
Nature's being threatened by mechs, and we have to defend it, and that's Defenders of the Wild.
Yeah. And this is a game, we really love this style of game. So it's a cooperative game where sort of like the threat accelerates and builds. And so you've got to try to mitigate the threat or remove it. Yep. But on every turn, like it's amping up. And so you're just like frantically trying to solve things like pandemic style, think about it. But this is with the theme of defending nature.
Yeah, and it's such a great, and rewilding it.
Yeah.
So you've got these factories that are making mechs who are coming out and building more factories, and you got to defeat the mechs and rewild the factories, and do that before the end of the game, before you lose it.
And what's kind of clever about this game that makes it a little bit unique is that your actions are determined by a hand of cards, and your hand of cards are you've got like a band of animals or whatever.
Well, they're asymmetric. Each character has their own deck. Of cards.
Exactly. And so, your deck might help heal. Right. Whereas another deck might be more powerful in like clearing things quickly.
Yep.
So it's kind of like finding that balance and learning how to play your character best.
Yep.
Which is so much fun.
So anyway, that's Defenders of the Wild, which is a fantastic game. It's from the designer of Block by Block, which is a sort of protest game, and Henry Audubon, the designer of Parks as well.
I believe the artist is the person who did the game we don't like. One everybody likes, but we don't like. We tried it. It's Asymmetric Powers. It's super popular.
Oh, Root.
Root, yeah. Same.
I liked it.
Okay, I didn't. Same artist as Root. Anyway.
It's just not for us, really, because, I don't know. It's just not going to fit within our regime of gameplay. But anyway, so yeah, that's,
that's Defenders of the Wild.
Defenders of the Wild. So next up,
we have Forest Shuffle. And this is a game we mostly played online, and we just recently got it to the table, and that I think took it up to the next level for us. It is so you're building out basically your ecosystem, right? And so you've got trees, and you're getting trees into your forest, and then birds or butterflies and plants and animals and trying to like make sure that you have well, you don't have to have a balance, but it works best if you have a balance, because things will score based on the things that they need in the habitat.
Right.
Right. So if you have, for example, a animal that eats plants, you might score plants based on, or might score based on how many plants you have, or like the fox is based on how many rabbits you have because they eat the rabbits, and so on. And so it's just a really lovely tableau building game.
Yes. Fantastic game. Real simple concept, like mechanically, and but a lot of strategy in it. So
yeah,
really good. Next up, we have It's a Wonderful World, which I cannot talk about because I don't know how to play.
Well, I've only played this online, and I actually don't have a big grasp on it. But when we're talking about like conservation and the environment and tackling climate change and smart use of resources, one of the things I love about this game is it's got recycling in it. And so you will there's a card drafting period at the beginning of your turn, and when you take your cards during the action phase, you're going to decide, am I going to build that or am I going to recycle it? And if you recycle it, you get materials from it that will help you build other cards. And so again, I just love that smart use of resources in a game, because it really echoes what we need to be doing with resources right now. And,
exactly.
It's not about like, we can just get more steel or we can just get more whatever. Willy-nilly, we're going to be spending resources. It's about taking what you have and then reusing it rather than just starting from scratch.
Yep. Next up, we have a roll and write game that is focused on alternative clean energy, and that is Sunshine City. So this is focused really on solar power and stuff, and it's a fun little roll and write game. It's a print and play game, so you should be able to go out and get it. But you need a meeple, you need a couple meeples, and you move around your sheet, and you get to do different actions. And then there's these main areas where you're trying to mark off different things. And as you mark them off, you get bonuses, and you can mark off other things, and so on and so forth. And you're trying to get the most points, and it's really fun.
Right. And how far you move is based on the dice that you have. And so, again, it's trying to think about, well, I really need to get to that spot, but I don't have a dice that'll get me there. Do I have 2 dice that will get me there in 2 turns? That type of thing. And, it's got all of the things that make a roll and write fun, that sort of like cascading benefits from things. If you fill something up, you get something, which might help you fill something up, which gets you something, like really fun. And again, it's a print and play, so it's super accessible. It's easy to get a hold of. I don't know what the cost is on it.
Yeah, I don't know. We have to look it up. We didn't look it up before the video. So.
Yeah. We'll maybe we can put it in
the comments.
Yeah. But again, even like the most pricey print and plays are not expensive. They're pretty affordable. So it's one that's easy to get a hold of, and we really have enjoyed this. And there's a ton of different not maps, but sheets for it. So
with the volatility of things like tariffs right now, print and plays are a good alternative.
Yeah, for sure. And you can print out, you probably have to purchase them, but there's so many different like versions of it that there's a lot of variability once you get the sort of system down.
So our last game is a sort of big game that we mostly play. I guess we've only played online, but we really enjoy it, and that's Space Station Phoenix. And the big thing that we love about Space Station Phoenix is that you literally tear down ships to get resources to build other ships, and it's or your space station, and it's like recycling basically, and reusing.
Yep, just like the It's a Wonderful World. You're absolutely making use of things that you don't need. So you start out with like 3 ships that can build. Well, you don't need 3 ships that can build. You only really need 1. So kind of taking those apart and deciding like when you want to take them apart and use them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And then we've got some honorable mentions, and these are ones we haven't played, but we think the theme fits in really well. And the first one is Daybreak.
It's a cooperative game about fighting climate change and stuff, I believe.
Yeah. And I think I'm wrong. I was going to say this is done by the same company that did Forest Shuffle.
No, I don't know who published it, but Matt Leacock is one of the designers.
Right. There's a couple of games now, and Forest Shuffle is one of them, though, that are plastic free.
Yeah.
and using compostable
This was very
material.
sustainable production, I believe.
Yes, so very sustainable production. The cards are compostable. It's plastic free. And so I think that also the next 2 or 3 fit into that category. So that's
Earthborn
also...
Rangers, Shirley, and Leaf. He always does. Tim Eisner always does a nice job. I think that's Tim Eisner. And then correct me if I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But the last game is also really cool looking, like a complex game. But it's like alternative energy production or development in South America and Uruguay, I believe. And that's Pampero.
Yeah, about windmills and whatnot.
Solar and wildlife sanctuaries and stuff like that. Right up our alley.
Yeah, so we haven't played any of them, but they all fit really well into this theme. And I love the fact that a handful of these games also are focusing on sustainable production. So that's really cool. Love to see more of that. And in fact, think about it a roll and write, because there's no shipping, you know, there's not a whole bunch of components. It's just like one page. We slip those into sleeves, so we're not printing a bunch of them. Super sustainable way to have a board game.
Yeah. So what games would you recommend for Earth Day or nature?
Recycling, that sort of...
Any of that theme? And then what do you think of our choices?
Yeah.
Be nice. No, I'm just kidding. You can be mean. Not too mean.
Don't be mean. You can disagree nicely.
All right. Remember,
every day that you game
is a holiday. Bye, everyone.
Bye.